Hello there, and welcome to the third retrospective fundraiser for what will be called, and I think I revealed this before, but maybe I'm just revealing it now, the Drax Files Made in SL, which will be kind of a relaunch, rebrand of the Drax Files, coupled with Made in Second Life, Made in SL, which I produced for the official Second Life channel for a number of years, and I will be coming back with new stories on August 24th. Now, um, if you don't know, if you're just tuning in on YouTube and you have no idea what this is about, let me briefly summarize. I was sponsored by Linden Lab, and then I was a contractor at Linden Lab for a total of 10 years. The contract expired and was not renewed. I'm not mad at Linden Lab. I'm happy that I contributed as much as I did to highlight great stories of Second Life creativity over these 10 years. The contract was not renewed, and I'm now an independent agent again. I want to continue, but to cover expenses and to also see if there's even interest in kind of an oral history of Second Life, in documenting what people do here in their own voices. Now, what we saw in the intro are those Second Life destination sort of fly-throughs, little eye candy things. I might be doing those, but primarily what I'm planning on doing is the reportage or mini documentary or human interest piece type journalism that I've been doing in the Drax Files and the Made in SL series. And that's why I need your help. I need your help right now. I'm going to go into pledge drive mode. If you're annoyed by this, let me tell you two things. If you can't afford to pledge, do not feel bad. I'm not trying to guilt you. If you donate just $1, I can see that there is interest in what I'm offering here in terms of building an archive, building an oral history, or continuing to do that in the Second Life context. Going on the ground, on the grid, every day, looking around, talking to people, finding good stories, and bringing these stories of marginalized people who use their intrinsic motivation and put this out there. This is very, very labor intensive. It's much more labor intensive than these quick fly-throughs. By the way, I also did all the music for those that you just saw. This is just sort of a random selection out of hundreds of videos that I made in the last 2 years alone. I think I made 200 videos, roughly 100 videos per year. But anyway, so that's that. And we have 56 supporters on Ko-fi, kofi.com/Draxter. You can donate, you can give a tip, a one-time tip, or you can get a membership there. Now, I would like to introduce to you a fella that you might know. His name is Arduin Blackmensch, but he changed his name recently to Arduin Schwartzman. And he has complied with a request from many people who said they want to donate in Linden dollars. Can you bring up the secret device, Arjun, and tell us a little bit about it?
Hi, yes. I was supposed to drag it up from you, but I think you forgot to res it. I'm
Do
resing
I have
my
to? I
own.
don't
Here
know
we
what
go.
to res, Arjun. I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah,
I make
here we go.
films. I don't know how to res
Let me
things.
drag one up here. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, so since it's mine, no one must touch it.
No one
Let
must
me,
touch it.
there, I'm
This
stuck
is
in the
kind of
script
this. This
there.
looks like a kind of like a trophy, right?
Yeah, so I don't want people to pay me, they have to pay you, right? So you have to eventually click Drax's sponsor trophy. That's what it is. Now, what you're looking at here, that's the sponsor trophy giver. And if you look carefully in the stream, you can see a little hand pointing down on it. That means you have to click it. And then it will give you a copy of this, an actual sponsor trophy uh, auto payer. So you res it out, and then it will ask you how much would you like to donate every month. So you pick a number, um,
And the
and then it will
numbers
ask you.
are they are in they're the same like what we're doing on Ko-fi. So the Ko-fi subscribers, there's several tiers. I should put that up, and you put up the tiers in Linden dollars, kind of roughly, right?
Yeah. Oh, so if you can res out yours, and then the people here will click it, and they will.
Hold on, let me just put up this here. This is from Ko-fi. There's three main tiers: one
Yeah,
for $1 per month, one for $3 per month, one for $9 a
yeah,
month, and then there is a special expensive tier, which is crazy. And I have one member who pledged the Drax Mega Thorian 19.99 per month. Again, this is to help launch the Drax Files Made in SL August 24th. Now, this does not come close to covering the expenses, but my goal is to give this out to everyone and just find out if people are interested. So when you're pledging, it means that you care that this stuff exists. I want to be able to give this out for free to everyone, so they can see it. No behind the paywall kind of bullshit, which may work for some. I don't want to call it bullshit. For some people, it works, but for me, it doesn't. I don't want to have people pay extra and get special stuff. I want this to be a public archive of Second Life history. So, Arden, what you scripted, and I'm going to res it out, and then people can click on it, and people can actually get it, and we're going to also
yeah.
give it
Just res it on
away.
the sand, and I'll move it to the pool side there for everyone to see.
Let's see here. How do I do this? Oh, here we go. So I res the trophy giver. Oops, where did it go? Did it go underneath again? Oh, I have to res it
Oh,
on the
let me.
sand, right?
Yes, let
Okay,
me
here we go.
otherwise cam around. Maybe I can see it inside the pool
Put it out on the
somewhere.
sand. People are like, oh my God, how can he make movies if he doesn't know how to res things? Here it's
Yeah.
behind
So
on the
all the
beach
numbers. Oh,
blanket.
I see it. There it is. So
Yep.
all the numbers. Oh, you know what? You know what? You didn't put the trophy giver in there. It's empty. I see.
Well, we'll deal with it later. Now, what's important is that these three monthly subscription tiers, you can become a member at $1 a month, and that counts towards the 70 supporting members that is the goal for today, right? So the amount that you have available doesn't make you a better or a worse person, or if you can't afford it, you don't have to feel guilty. If you can afford it, you're expressing interest that this stuff exists for everybody out there, right? Um, and the for the 1999, I just want to mention this briefly before we play the first video from the archives. For the 1999, I will compose a song for you that is 2 minutes in length. I will perform it, all the instruments. I will mix it. I will send it to you as a machinima music video. Okay, 2 minute song for you and about you, sent to you in machinima format, performed by yours truly. for the $49.99. You can read that on Ko-fi. I'm not going to read it out. That's even additional perks. And I just decided on a whim, just before we went on air, as they say, that everybody who is a continuing supporter, who gets a membership on either Ko-fi or on Ardern's device, will be credited by name in each video in the credit sequence at the end of each video, which I will start in August. So right now we're going to watch a video from the archive, and in between, please consider donating on Ko-fi. And I am me privately if you're in SL right now, and I will give you one of those trophies, and then you can become a member. And let's see if we can just get a couple of supporters while the next video plays, or the first one actually. So what have I decided? Oh yeah, Ardern, I decided to play a video about the casino ban. This is a video I produced back in 2007 where Second Life had casinos.
I remember big piles of burning slot machines back then.
It was huge because Linden Lab, let's put it frankly, let's be frank, they're not the greatest communicators, or certainly weren't back then. But they had to comply with the law, but they basically nuked casinos overnight, and people logged in and they had, their livelihood was a casino, and the casino was gone. And I filed one of those reportages back in the day, way before the Drax Files. So this is one from 2007. Now, when you watch this, it's again, it's 17 years ago. The format has changed a little bit. I'm very proud of these stories. While they may look a little crude, they'll give you an idea what I'm planning on continuing to do with these Second Life stories, just a little bit more polished. But if you're interested in supporting this effort, if you're interested in becoming a member for the Drax Files Made in SL launch in August, please consider donating. Please consider becoming a member on Ko-fi or in World. Send me an IM, and while the video is playing, I'm going to put this out. So here is the casino ban story. See you right after. When Linden Lab announced their ban on gambling, all hell broke loose. During an interview with former blackjack millionaire Vito Arguello, we got an invite to Orientation Island. The sim was packed with angry demonstrators shouting expletives and waving homemade protest signs. Vito suspected the location of the protest was strategically chosen.
This is really going to affect the newbies, because now with orientation blocked, they got to go to another one of the Orientation Islands, and if they get blocked up, newbies in this game are going to be pretty scarce today.
Nobody knows if the login slowdown made an impression on Linden Lab. Spanky Straff is one resident who is not in the mood for experiments. The casino owner and certified dealer says his financial situation is dire.
I am a disabled U.S. veteran. I'm also engaged in a fight to obtain pension. This is my sole source of income.
Spanky saw his slot machines and poker tables vaporized. His casino is an empty shell. He accuses Linden Lab of defrauding him in excess of $2,000 US.
Linden Labs, without giving so much as a moment's notice, has given no fair compensation to any citizen. What they have said is that we have the ability to do what we want to do.
Spanky Straff is now head of the group Anti-SL Socialism Today, which openly considers Linden Lab a totalitarian regime. Benjamin Noble is the president of the SL Bar Association and blogs at virtuallyblind.com. He sees nothing arbitrary with the Linden move and welcomes the policy clarification.
There has been some pressure put on them from outside of the country. Between that and the FBI's inquiries into Second Life earlier this year, they probably took a hard look at it and realized they were in violation of the UIGEA, the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act.
Congress passed the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act at
the end of 2006. From then on, banks were prohibited from processing payments from internet gambling transactions. By allowing residents to convert Linden dollars back to real US dollars, Linden Lab effectively acts like a bank. Noble adds that the proactive approach Linden is taking with regards to other countries' laws might be an effort to facilitate business relations with host locations of future server farms.
Simulated images of child pornography is expressly legal in the United States. It's not legal in Germany, and Linden Lab has banned it. They're, I think, trying to be an international company and comply with at least the most newspaper-worthy laws in the countries where it's trying to do business.
Linden critic Prokofy is not convinced the company has finally grown up. On the podcast Second Rant, published through Nick Wilson's Metaverse.com blog, he said that SL might not be a straight-out dictatorship, but clearly shows the chaos of a transitional structure.
They print money out of thin air and sell it. This is like Yeltsin's Russia, This is what led to the great ruble crash.
Prokofy predicts that when banned casino owners are forced to cash out, the flood of Linden dollars will actually hurt this virtual economy. Enforcement of the ban seemed sporadic at best. Members of the group Keep Casinos Legal in SL continued to spread locations of non-compliant, fully operational casinos. I was able to find one just down the road from Spanky. My attempts to get an official statement from Linden Lab were understandably unsuccessful. Meanwhile, at the Orientation Island protest, an Australian by the name of Fletcher Rogers chimes in about the unique nature of SL gambling. The homemade machinery might be rigged altogether.
In a lot of those games, you're putting a lot of faith in the person who created the scripts and the programming behind that software, and that's another problem for Linden Lab. If I go and lose a lot, who do I sue? Do I try to find this person who set up their game in Second Life, or do I actually just take on Linden Labs? It's a minefield.
Well, it's an interesting point, Fletcher. I bet you 5,000 Linden dollars that Linden Lab just wanted to resell the seized casino property for cash. Want to take the bet? Shh, not so loud. There might be some undercover Lindens hanging around. For Life for You News, this is Draxter Dupre.
Okay, here we go. I hope the audio was okay on this piece. I looked so young back then. 2007. If you're just tuning in, this is the big retrospective number 3, the big fundraiser, where you can help me to continue producing these stories, producing stories of Second Life creativity, that stems from intrinsic motivation of wonderful people, stories that are usually not heard. I want to continue to build an archive of these stories of individuals or small communities or bigger communities and tell these stories. Oh, Mallory Cohen just IM me. Hello, Mallory. So now we're here on the beach, or actually we're poolside. We got some pool beauties who found me. I don't know how they found me. This is streaming on YouTube. Here's Christina lounging. And here's Clyde. And of course, the book club manager, but also Arden Schwartzman. And Arden Schwartzman made a device because people were saying like, yeah, Draxter, I want to help. I want to support you. But I don't want to go to Ko-fi. I don't have a PayPal account, whatever. Do you take Linden dollar donations? Well, now I can. And so this will count towards the goal of 100 subscribers, of 100 sponsors, of 100 sustaining supporters, whatever you want to call it. The Drax Files made in SL. Either IM me privately right now, and I'll send you one of these devices where you can choose a tier, and the tier gets subtracted on a monthly basis. You can opt out at any time. It will send you a reminder before it takes out the money. And the tiers are modeled after the tiers. Ooh, not like these big ones. They're modeled after the Ko-fi tiers. Let's put the normal ones up. The normal ones are $1 per month. This is US. $3 per month or $9 per month. Drax Base, Drax Pal, Drax Super Stand. So these three are the basic three tiers that you can choose from, and the equivalent, rough equivalent, Arden put that in Linden dollars. So I think, what is it, 300 Linden dollars, right?
It starts at 300, yes. So the $1 translates to 300 approximately.
Awesome. So if you want to help, this is what we're doing today. I pulled out a lot of really cool, what I find cool, older videos, archived videos, and we want to celebrate those. And we want to celebrate and appreciate, if you appreciate the importance of an archive. Now, Arden, do you appreciate that? I mean, Arden, let me just ask you point blank, who needs history? Who wants to see like old crap like the casino ban in 20 years? And Arden goes like, yeah, exactly. Why do I want to watch that when I have a Netflix subscription?
Yeah.
Is it important to look back at our community, what we did 20 years ago?
Well, you know the old adage, right? If you don't know history, you are doomed to repeat it or something. So
Exactly.
maybe there'll be another wave of unbridled gambling. Who knows?
Yeah, so actually, the people who should subscribe right now are Lindens. Because they're in charge, and they made a communication blunder by not announcing the casino ban and just nuking all the casinos, and people wake up and say, hey, where's my livelihood? Sorry, it's gone. Now I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Avalier here says on YouTube, I think the videos are interesting and historical. I think so too, Avalier. Why not choose to, if you can, send a one-time donation to Ko-fi or InWorld. I also find that they're historical. They're hysterical, actually, and they're also informative. I'm just a guy who likes history, I guess. But I also really, really like the fact that Second Life, without all these gamification gimmicks, that's what attracts me personally, unleashes something that is not unleashed by Candy Crush. Arden, am I right? I mean, except for you made a virtual version of Candy Crush.
I'm guilty. Guilty as charged.
So people do here, for the most part, stuff because they want to, and they're not driven by a simple sort of reward system where you reward sort of lab rats. And that's what I love about SL, and that's what I want to communicate to the outside. Now, who wants to see another oldie? Do people want to see an oldie or a relative new video? Let's take a vote on YouTube and in World. So I have a bunch of old ones. I have all, it runs the gamut from 2007 to actually last year. Clyde wants to see an oldie. So do I. I'm going to play an oldie that I think will knock people's socks off. And again, I apologize I was just learning how to make machinima. So, I was coming from radio at the time. So I would say my pacing is somewhat solid. The audio is good. The writing is good, but the video, frankly, has improved over the years. I hope people would agree with me. Fanny and Avalier and Psukmed say on YouTube there. I think Psukmed is a subscriber. If people are already subscribed, by the way, on YouTube, please say yes. I am a supporter. Let's use this term. Yes, I'm a supporter. Please put that on YouTube. You should be proud, and I want to thank you. And as soon as we get off the air, I will thank you. So I'm going to play now another video from 2007 where a movie came out with Will Smith. Let's see, I'm verifying if this was 2007. Yes. A movie came out called I Am Legend. I Am Legend. Now, do people know that this was also a novel by Richard Matheson? No, people don't know that because people know the movie with Will Smith. Second Life did a promotion, or the movie studio did a tie-in with Second Life, a very elaborate game called I Am Legend. And if we look at it back now, it's just I marvel at the fact how ahead of its time Second Life was in terms of a whatever you call it, sandbox game maybe, where you can create very sophisticated things back then. So let's roll tape. This is my story on the I Am Legend movie tie-in. And movie tie-in is really kind of diminishing because this is really kind of stunning what they made back then. When you think about the limitations of game mechanics, there's a valid criticism to today that in terms of game mechanics, Second Life is a little bit lacking. I hear this all the time, not from Arduin, but from people who make sort of more action type games. But anyway, here we go. I Am Legend.
My latest assignment as reporter for Life4You television brought me into dangerous territory recently, the deserted streets of New York City. What happened? Looks like some kind of disease has wiped out mankind. Hey, who was that? Somebody is still alive. Looks as though he's searching for something. Oh, for what? Zombies? Oh man, I thought they killed all of them and 28 weeks later. I was slowly putting the pieces together. Apparently, the Electric Sheep Company had created a game on 5 Sims as a movie tie-in with the Warner Brothers feature I Am Legend starring Will Smith. The film is based on Richard Matheson's 1950s sci-fi classic of the same name, previously on the big screen as The Omega Man and The Last Man on Earth. In the original story, Robert Neville thinks he's the sole survivor of a plague that has turned everyone else into vampires. Neville kills them all, eventually garnering a reputation for the last of a dead breed, a human, a legend.
They were afraid. No.
When the sheep designed I Am Legend Survival for Second Life, they closely followed the novel's adaptation for the screen. Will Smith plays the scientist Neville, the last human survivor in New York City, and mankind's last hope for a cure. Corey Ito is a texture designer at Electric Sheep and project manager for the I Am Legend game.
You can choose to be either an uninfected person or an uninfected dog, or you can choose to be an infected human, who are called Darkseekers in the movie, or an infected dog. So you can either choose to fight for the human side or just jump in and run around and tear and maim and kill and just have a fun time doing that.
Corey says the game is collaborative, bringing console-type quality to SL, not only in graphics, but in narrative.
The nature of the game, especially if you're playing as a human, is such that you really have to work together. As you're running around these New York City Sims, you can pick up salvage that you collect and then combine in the CDC lab to make things like better weapon upgrades, medical kits, defense weapons, and eventually the cure for the disease.
The sheep, together with its client Warner Brothers, will decide when to insert elements of the cure into the system, thereby controlling when the story will end. Corey hopes the big pool of beta testers will stay on and bring their friends in to populate the Sims right away. Plus, a whole bunch of newbies might show up too, with Linden Lab having opened up the orientation experience to selected brands like Enchi Chung. The Electric Sheep Company has combined the I Am Legend game with a newbie help center. You just have to sign up through their website and whoosh, you're instantly transported into arguably the darkest corner of SL. Too late now for a sample of Chunky Monkey.
One of the biggest creative problems that we had to tackle was how to work in both a new player orientation and a regular game orientation into the same sim. So we've divided it up into 2 tracks. If you're brand new to Second Life, you can follow this track over here with the green arrows and learn all of the basic things that you normally would at a regular new player orientation in Second Life.
Next, the noob can pick up a free skin. For those who are more experienced, and by that I mean ready to shoot stuff, there are game-specific avatars, infected and clean, all with custom animations and weaponry, as well as the required game HUD. Obviously, this project goes far beyond the typical short-lived movie tie-in, all too familiar in virtual worlds. Director X or Actor Y shows up, answers a few questions, hands out t-shirts, and exits, leaving behind not much more than the official trailer. In I Am Legend, players, fans, whatever, can die, get regenerated, and play until the cows come home, even if the movie bombs at the box office.
This is absolutely set up so it can have a life of its own past the movie. If the demand is high enough, there's no reason that this couldn't run on its own for really indefinitely, even if we don't introduce the cure for many, many moons from now.
The Electric Sheep Company, with its 60-plus employees and more than 20 freelance contractors picked from SL's creme de la creme, appear to be making good money customizing the SL experience for their clients. Very soon, the CSI-branded viewer might bring in thousands of the CBS television show's fans who have never heard of SL before. I wonder what's next. Since the sheep is partially owned by CBS, might we see a Young and Restless role-playing game? I'd love to play Victor Newman. For Life for You News, I'm Drexter Dupre, shopping for a mustache.
Unbelievable. Oh, my mic was off. So Avalier actually on YouTube says really ahead of its time. Absolutely. And you know what's amazing is, and also Avalier says you don't have that in things like Fortnite because SL is more community oriented and less corporate, I would add. I mean, the corporations can do whatever, but it's, in my in the Made in Second Life film for the 20th anniversary, I pointed out that corporations often made really dumb decisions, like Adidas. I used the case of Adidas, which really failed because they were just not understanding how important community is and sort of the relationship between the creator and the people in SL. They were really arrogant. They were like, oh, Adidas is a huge brand. We're going to just put up a big mall in Second Life and everybody will come to us. No, why would they, right? They would go to the nice small shoemaker around the corner who makes dress shoes and talks to you. So this kind of business ethics or just customer relations attitude is something that at least in theory enables individual creators in Second Life to be very successful. Like Arduin here. I mean, he talks to everyone, right, all day long. Who somebody buys something for,
well,
I yell at them.
You
Shut
start
up.
out small, right?
Yeah.
And then it's easy to talk to just everyone.
I know.
But
If
as
you're
you
like
grow,
big like you, right, millions
then
of
you have to
transactions.
become more arrogant and non-responsive.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise,
Oh, I'm totally the same. Yesterday I was location scouting for a movie that I was working. I was at the Ivory Tower of Prims, and there was a guy who was running towards me. He says, "Hey, Drexter! Oh my God, it's you!" And I said in chat, "I can't talk to you, dude, right now. I'm location scouting. Sorry." That was really arrogant of me. And then I couldn't sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night. I logged in and said to the guy, "Hey, sorry, I was really busy yesterday. I didn't want to come across like some arrogant asshole." So
it's just that our brains cannot deal with so many different things.
Oh yeah. No, but the point with the relationship of a creator, I mean, it still is very different. Even if you hire a bunch of customer service people, if you're rather large in SL or whatever it is very different. My point still stands, with the Adidas case, and it was more like they thought we are a huge brand. Again, this is similar to them not understanding the dynamics of the internet in the beginning of the internet. So this is just kind of a replay where people want to interact more. I mean, as an anti-capitalist, I find I don't want to give these corporations any ideas, which they have now, with influencers and stuff like that. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, Alfred is tuning in on YouTube. Saying, "Oh my God, typing in the air is so 2007," says Alfred. Thanks for pointing that out, actually. This is something when I first got into Second Life and I started producing before voice came on. This is what I used as a visual device. And I don't want to brag, but the fact that whenever people were talking and the voiceover came on, I used typing sounds and the visual of typing in the air. There are several academic articles written about this, about my work and how I used or how people use sort of visual workarounds to produce journalism from games, right? Audiovisual journalism in games. I'm gonna find the article and I'll put it up in the fourth fundraiser because, again, I don't want to brag. I didn't invent this, but I used it as a workaround because I felt I wanted to signal that this person is talking because the mouth was not moving. By the way, your mouth is also not moving, Arden. Please change that or I have to boot you off my sim.
Oh, let me
But anyway,
explore
we're
this Chernobyl control room thing called preferences.
Bloodfang is here also. Now, we're talking about the Drax Files made in SL. If you're tuning in and you don't know what we're doing, the Drax Files made in SL is my project or my relaunch or my rebranding of a combination of what I did with the Drax Files and then the Made in SL series on the official Second Life YouTube. And I'm going to bring it back on August 24th if I can get to 100 subscribers, 100 sustaining supporters. We're right now at 56. If you are able and want to donate, want to subscribe with real dollars or euros, please go to ko-fi.com/Dragster. ko-fi.com/Dragster. You can also tip. You can do a one-time tip of $3 and it counts towards the subscriber base. It's still at 56 subscribers. 57! Oh my God, we're at 57. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alfie? Was that Alfred? Yes. Now, today I want to get to 70 and the total is 100. And I don't want to make people feel bad. I don't want them to feel guilty that they can't afford it. If you can't afford it, forget it. Enjoy those videos. I'm making this for you. I'm making this for everyone. I want to continue creating an archive of small business people, small shoemakers, big business people, Arden Schwartzmans. Speaking of shoemakers, let's watch the next video. And you saw with the previous two videos that we watched how labor intensive that is. But I'm going to show you one now that is even more labor intensive. This is from 2012 and it profiles an artist by the name of Chris Showmaker, visual artist, very well known in SL. I think she left because she got too busy in the physical realm. She does amazing stuff in the physical realm. She did amazing stuff in SL. And I profiled a project of her. And this is from 2012. This is Chris Showmaker's amazing project. And the title I wrote down somewhere and now I can't find it. And one man in his time, place, many parts. This is a 6-minute piece. Amazing work. Now watch this and you can see how much work goes into this stuff. This is the stuff I want to continue, and this is what you can support with as little as $1 US or 300 Linden dollars. Here we go.
It's an installation, a mixed reality installation using Second Life, the virtual world of Second Life, 3D online community, and the physical world. I wanted to combine the two.
Where's the real life world here? We're having a great time here, but I'm not seeing any guests in the other room.
Downton Abbey meets The Lost Generation. Midnight in Paris meets Second Life.
Well, you know, I do get a little claustrophobic.
You're sick of us already.
No, I am not.
You want out of this box right now.
Second Life is this huge community where people from all over the world meet and exchange ideas and create art. They write and they do music, and it reminds me of Paris of the 20s.
Oh, you're living in the south of France, right?
Est-ce que vous parlez français, Bevance?
Where in Australia are you? Sydney. Okay.
Vient de Québec.
Ah oui?
Oui, Québec.
Quelle partie Québec?
When expatriates came from the United States and met at Gertrude Stein salons, Picasso and Matisse and Hemingway and, you know, all of these artists in one place at one time. Thank you, Christine, the vegetarian.
Why don't you start?
Have you guys seen Midnight in Paris? They were escaping the realities that were going on around them, like war and, you know, poverty.
Every night at midnight when the church bell rings, he gets picked up by a car.
Second Life is much like that. They can be free to be who they want, whether they're gay, whether they're overweight. They can escape the judgment and criticism. They can, you know, come to this world and be free.
Chevalier de la table ronde.
Everybody say hi to the real life people.
What does it look like out there?
We had a dinner party together between real life and Second Life. And so it was really, really exciting to see the two worlds sitting down together, eating and talking.
The setting you've done in the gallery is very much its own special world.
The artists in virtual reality have this exchange.
It was blurring the realities, blurring the line between virtual and real and so forth.
We give up our rights to the tangible in order to experience the limitless.
The fact that we can be here and make this into a place, a shared experience, to me, that's tangible.
It was really exciting to hear the comments that people were making, even if they don't quite understand what an avatar is.
Anything can be an avatar, as long as you can project it into a virtual world. I don't see why you should limit the concept of avatar just to people.
What is the word avatar anyhow?
It's actually a really old word from Hindu mythology, a fragment of a god being projected into the earthly plane, if you like.
Does an avatar have a soul?
If you have a soul and you have an avatar, then your avatar has a soul.
I started the 1,000 Avatars project a couple years ago. I wanted to show the creativity, the imagination that people really put into these characters.
Isn't Second Life about doing whatever you want with your identity?
You mean anarchy, a big F-U?
We don't know who they are on the other side of the computer. We only know them through their persona with their character on the wall.
The difference is that it's a lot easier to come across people and subcultures that you wouldn't normally come across.
Because it's so accessible.
It's kind of symbolic of the anonymity that being online represents.
The first 2 weeks, I was an Asian person, I was a white girl, I was a black girl, and I got treated completely differently when I was each of these identities as a culture.
That was you? No, I'm just kidding.
You understand who they are through the persona that they portray in their avatar.
I mean, we all have isolation at some time, and in this space, we don't have to be isolated, and we get to experience who we actually are on a much faster pace, and with hair that doesn't seem to get messed up in the wind. Your intent and your action is how people judge you.
Which fork should I use? Can someone tell me that?
Waiter, there's a tail in my soup. Well, I'm going to abandon my shell of a person so that I can go inhale nicotine.
So there we go, 12 years ago. This was Chris Showmaker. And if people know who Fluffy is, Fluffy McFluff, he was also seen in that gallery. Chris gave me the photo afterwards. It's not hung up here at home. We don't have any space, but it looks awesome. So, I mean, Avalier on YouTube says combining real life and Second Life. Oh, yeah. I wonder who thought of this. Well, maybe I did know. I don't know if I can take credit for it. But that was the concept from the very beginning when I started this almost 18 years ago, because I wanted to acknowledge the importance of avatar-based representation. I wanted to make avatars, be on par with real life in the sense that they have the same significance. I mean, we know that it's not a cheap like whatever the mainstream narrative is of like hiding behind something or whatever. No, it's a liberation of sorts. By the way, Diafka here. I don't know if Diafka is related to Avalier. Who knows? But look at Diafka. This is not this is not like hiding behind something that is not real. This is unleashing creativity. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, obviously. If you're in Second Life, you know that. So the importance of the avatar is really central to my work in the documentation of what people do in SL, and this is what I would like to continue. But I need to get to 100 supporters. If I don't get to, and again, I don't want to be a Draxy downer, but if I don't get to 100 supporters today, we want to get to a 70, and then the fourth one we have to wrap it up. If I don't get to 100, I will not be able to continue, and I will have to break down my tents and get out of here. But the thing is, with the work, let's focus on the work. The combination of Second Life and real life is very important, and I've been criticized because of that, because some people don't want to reveal their real life. It's not about revealing it, and by the way, I completely respect that, and I've done a lot of stories where we don't see the physical person, where we do a little workaround, we see hands sometimes. I completely respect that. I just want to, for me, aesthetically, as a filmmaker, it's important to create a direct link. Basically, the underlying message, the subtext is that there's no difference in importance and reality. Both things are real. One is digital and one is made of molecules, but both are completely real. They're real experiences. They're real beings. And so that's really the central part of the work. And aesthetically, I use these types of things. If you've seen my stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But again, important note, if the protagonist of the story does not want to be seen in the flesh, so to speak, I completely respect that. Matter of fact, let me tell you a quick anecdote. Oh, by the way, Clyde, big thank you. Clyde is a new supporter, and this doesn't count on Ko-fi, so I'm going to keep a tally. We're now at 58 supporters. Thank you, Clyde. This is really awesome. So, yeah, real quick anecdote, and then we'll watch the next video. So this is central to my work because the liberation that the avatar concept provides for the individual, unleashing or uncoupling the imagination from the physical body is so super important, I think. And Second Life allows that, again, different from other digital offerings, because there is no other, there's no gamification incentives. It's really just intrinsic motivation. If you disagree with me, by the way, argue with me, put it on the local chat or send me an IM. I would love to argue about this. I was approached years ago by German Spiegel magazine, which is one of the biggest news magazines in Germany. They also have a big English-speaking website, so they're huge, big mainstream news outlet. They also have a television channel. I was approached by Spiegel, by a filmmaker who said, like, can you put me in touch with Second Life people, because I want to do a Second Life documentary. And I go like, yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you right now, some people don't want to appear on camera. And then he said, okay, then it's off. Then we don't want them. And I go, okay, cool. Is that your approach? Like, their stories are not valid because they don't want to be on camera. That's antithetical to my understanding of what a documentary maker does, right? And there's even other ways of doing that, pixelation or whatever. Although that looks to me as a visual aesthetic always like, oh, is this guy in the mafia, right? But I told the guy, why don't you do like an interview setting where you interview the avatar in the laptop, and the avatar appears in the laptop as an avatar speaking to you on Skype video, but as an avatar. Like, I can think of a million different things. Matter of fact, I've done a million different things to work around a situation where a person didn't want to appear. Clyde is talking. I'm working with a German filmmaker at the moment, looking at life in SL. A German filmmaker? Are you talking about me? I have a little bit of memory issues. Did I work with? No, but that's awesome, Clyde. You got to tell me more about it. So tell him. I hope that the filmmaker treats you with respect about that. I mean, I ended up making a documentary with Spiegel, or I appeared in it, and it worked out just fine. But it was just there's no need, um, this sort of really, really, really limited thinking of some of these journalists who gets to tell their story. I mean, I could go on and on about this. There's obviously also a genocide going on right now in Gaza, where journalists are being actually killed, while at the same time the journalism union in Germany is despicable in their public messaging about this genocide. But I don't want to get off topic here. So let's see what else do we. Let's watch something a little bit newer. I have a Made in SL episode that I'd like to watch. No, it's not the one with Diafka, although Diafka appears in one. Diafka is also the maker of a wonderful comic book Beyond Star that you can get right now. You're allowed to put that into the YouTube chat, Diafka, if you want to, or here. But maybe we'll watch Diafka's next time. But this time we're going to watch a Made in SL episode that I made a couple years ago. It's called Movies Made in SL. Diafka is the one with comics made in SL, but now we're going to watch the one with movies made in SL. It's about Prida Parks, a machinima maker, and it basically gives us a little glimpse behind the scenes of how machinima is made. And Prida is amazing. She's very prolific, woman from the UK, incredible. And oh, Clyde, you gotta watch this one, Clyde. This one you will love. But you can watch it later. Goodbye, Clyde. Movies made in SL, self-explanatory. I don't have to give a huge introduction here. It's amazing what Prida does. I'm so proud of her. Prida Parks, movies made in SL. Here we go.
My name in Second Life is Prida Parks. I'm making a film. Some may say machinima, some may say animation. I've worked on Future Shock for 4.5 years. 3 seasons, 24 episodes.
At the beginning of the century, the state decided the previous century was Rago.
Future Shock. It's about state intervention.
It just deleted the whole lot and set the clocks back 100 years.
Watching your every move.
There are no records of that 100 years at all.
You've got a particular character called Tracy. Her credit that she's been born with gets depleted, and it's about her wanting to survive.
Tracy, by now I am dead, most likely at your hand, but that doesn't matter.
Machinima is real-time animation, and if you edit it, you'll make a story depending on what it is that you're wanting to achieve. In Second Life, my home is also my studio. First and foremost, I put whatever's in my head down on paper. I then build the set in Second Life. The set, the costume, the character, and also the props and the scripts. I then do the soundtrack. Machinima can be done in different ways. My animation is frame by frame. Real time, me doing all the other characters. You've got Gwendolyn, you've got Nigel, you've got Pandora, you've got Tarquin. That's all done by me. It wasn't so easy having to work very late into the night and all over the weekend. And I'm just really proud that I stuck to that, you know what I mean? Free reign to just really, get on with it. I don't have to wait on anybody else, just really love it. Now that this is finished, looking for another full-time hobby, I will be doing something that I really love.
didn't see the end of this. That was a fast one. I was chatting with Tsai, who inquired about a trophy. A lot of people are IMing me for trophies. So this was Pride of Parks, just astonishing. You know, I mean, so many people do a machinima, and I could do so many different episodes. The Afka, don't IM me during the live show. Do it later. Now, Prida is with her series is just amazing, and also her approach is quite unique. Everybody is unique. The machinima community in SL is just amazing and very, very much alive. Again, this is also something, sort of a subculture within SL that sometimes gets dismissed out there. I mean, I've heard really nasty things being said at film festival. People say like, yeah, this is an amateur hour, whatever. But anyway, here's Arden Schwartzman. Arden, people ask me on YouTube stream, what trophy? Can you explain what this trophy does? Because people are doing, we've been talking about it for an hour, but people don't pay any
just
attention.
tuned in. There's people tuning in freshly here on the stream.
Arden, don't interrupt me when I want to disrespect people who are about to donate. You guys, no, I'm just joking. This is the old school pledge drive. If you don't know what the trophies and you don't want to donate, you're a freeloader. You freeloading scum. Okay.
I'm here to protect people falling victim to Poe's law. That's all. So, anyway, you can look that up if you don't know what that means.
Poe's law.
Poe's law. Poe. But so there's the trophies right between us, right? That's actually the trophy giver. If you happen to drop by at the book club island, there's one near the book club entrance, but also here now on the set. If you click that, you'll get a trophy of your own, and if you res that out in your home, you will be asked to, if you want to, donate a certain amount of Linden dollars every month automatically, or not. Then you just take it back in your inventory, and then you won't pay any money. But so you're totally free to decide what to do with it. But you can choose an amount, and then you don't have to do anything else anymore. It will just then automatically every month pay that amount to the Drax Files Foundation.
But Arjun, what happens if I'm rich today and I'm signing up for the tier of like let's say 1,000 Linden dollars or 900 Linden dollars, and then all of a sudden I'm broke? What happens with the device? Will I get into debt?
Then, well, if you don't have any money, then obviously and nothing can be transferred. But also, you will get a warning one day in advance every month, one day before the actual money transfer begins. But you can also just click it and choose another amount, a lower amount, or just pick it up in your inventory, because then, of course, the automatic payment stops too.
So you pick it up, you put it in your inventory, and the payment will not be deducted. Also, you get a notice one day before, and if you forget that you subscribe to this wonderful thing, if you forgot that you are supporting the making of an oral Second Life history, right? If you just forget that and you go like, oh no, I much rather want to spend all this stuff in the skill gaming region, playing slot machines, that's fine, because the device will warn you a day before, and then you can go like, no, F this oral history bull crap. I'm going to de-res it and spend my money. And that's totally up to you. Of course, you know, I would shame you publicly on the next stream if you do that.
These videos are free, aren't they? Free to watch, right?
Yes,
so
they're free.
Even pay?
Oh my God, Arjun, you found the loophole. You found a loophole. The videos are free.
I want you to know this one trick.
No, exactly. You're going to put out a video on YouTube that says exactly that. Drax doesn't want you to know this one trick. His videos are free to watch anyways. But no, you raised this interesting point, this very important point actually, because I do on purpose, I did not want to start a Patreon campaign. or some other sort of crowdfunding campaign that has a behind the paywall component to it. I want to create something that's like the Internet Archive, archive.org, for SL human interest reportage or mini documentaries, right? It should be accessible to everyone who wants to know more about what certain individuals that either come forward to me or that I encounter on the ground while I'm running around on the ground. By the way, next time we're going to talk about a submission process where I want people to write in with their story or with something that they encounter. You know, you can self-nominate. You can write me an email, say, I do some really interesting stuff, and I will check out absolutely everything. We'll talk about this on the final fundraising stream. But the point here is, yes, these videos that I'm about to continue making, hopefully, are going to be free on YouTube. They're accessible. You can even download them from YouTube, whatever. If you have a film festival or something and you message me and say, can I show this in the real world on a big screen? I will send you a high-res version for free. This is about celebrating what's happening in Second Life and creating a public record. But you can feel good by knowing that you can afford, that you are doing something that you can't afford, because if you can't afford it, I'm not going to guilt you, I'm not going to blame you. But if you can't afford it, I'm also not going to guilt you. It's your choice. You are sending a signal that you appreciate this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the point here. And also, I will put your name, I will put the names of the people who are donating at the end in the credit roll. So this is a thing that I decided early this morning, and I think it's a good idea. Now, where were we? We watched that. Oh, okay, we got another awesome old one. I wanted to say something else. I wanted to respond to something, and now I forgot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. So the three tiers, here's Ko-fi, by the way. This is ko-fi.com/Draxter. We're now at 57 supporters. I took this screenshot earlier. But this is what I wanted to say. So the normal tiers are $1 per month, $3 per month, $9 per month. And then there's two expensive tiers. And maybe that got buried earlier. I have one supporter at the $19.99 per month level. It's the Drax Megathorion level. And if you pledge at this level, if you become a sustaining supporter at this level, I will write, record, mix a song for you, custom. I play all the instruments. This is not AI. I will even sing, if you even if you don't want to. Maybe if you don't, I won't. But a 2-minute song for you and about you, sent to you in machinima video format. So you not only get the song, you can do with it whatever you like. You also get a song. And I have one supporter. Not going to mention her name. I have to ask her if she gives permission, then maybe we can actually hear the song. I'm very proud of this song. It was total fun. And I sent it to her and she loves it. So if you can pledge at this amount, and then I make you your song, and then you just unsubscribe. Okay? I wouldn't fault you. And I'm saying this before Arduin is going to come up with that. He goes like, wait a minute. I could just pledge once, and then I get all this, and then I just unsubscribe because I got it. The boss level OMG is $49.99 per month US, and you get the song, plus you will get a 30-minute hangout with me, one-on-one, every single month, talking, exploring places, whatever you like. Of course, I also film that for you, so you can keep it as a nice memory. Now, how about that for a parasocial relationship, Arduin?
The 30 minutes goes is really, really fast.
Yeah, but every month.
Better plan every minute. Every month. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, how about you buy that and you hit me with like a really provocative political question, then I completely go off the rails. Like, let's say you're a professional troll and you want to catch me. I mean, I would pledge at this level right now because I'm easily triggered. And you pledge 49, and then you have me say something, and then you record this, and then you blackmail me, and boom, there you go. My career is ruined for $49.99.
Another loophole.
This is full of
Some
loopholes.
sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have we done?
That's right. You created a trophy, and I created crap. But no, but also you get this song. I mean, this is a custom song. Think about this. This is unbelievable. Christina, I don't know what you're talking about. München. This seems to be a German city that I'm not affiliated with. Don't tell people where I live, Christina. I have people camping out in front of my house all day. Oh wait, I don't live in Munich currently. Hush, hush. But the song is super fun actually, and I'm proud of the one song that I made, and I hope people consider this because I think they will love that. It's a very special gift. Let's watch another one. Let's watch another oldie, and we have to wrap it in about 20 minutes or so. Let's watch. Should we get an oldie or a relative newbie? Oldie newbie. Oh, here's a Drax Files about immersive theater. This is amazing. Let's watch this. This is these people put on Paradise Lost in SL. This was amazing. Absolutely amazing. When was this? I have to actually look up when that was. I pulled all these videos and I did not put in when they were actually made. So this is from Drax Files episode 18. This must have been 2015, I believe. Yeah, 2015. Enjoy this one.
My name is Canary Beck.
And I'm Harvey Crapstick.
Together we produce immersive theater in Second Life.
Okay, wait a minute. You guys live in London, right?
That's right, we do.
A city full of art and culture, but you prefer to play around in a virtual world? Why?
Drax is not one or the other. We can actually do both.
Yeah, we're actively shaping an environment of our own choosing. Real people from all over the world working together to build and create a...
Yeah, believe me, I know. But many out there don't, so let's give them some awesome theater, shall we?
We shall, indeed.
And please, Drax, turn off your cell phone.
Sorry.
Paradise Lost is based on the poem by John Milton and roughly an hour long. We use the music of Mozart's Requiem in D minor. There's 43 roles that we have that are played by 8 avatar actors, so it's a lot of quick costume changes.
It's really easy for people to forget that they are real people acting on stage. The actors feel the same adrenaline rush that someone stepping on stage in real life might. Similarly, every member of the audience is an actual breathing human being.
People may think that it's not possible to communicate emotion within Second Life, that it's maybe robotic virtual world, but you relate to other people via your avatar in really personal ways. We have 12 major sets that we fade in and out. The audience is right in the middle, so they're fully immersed.
We're dressing them in custom-made avatars that will flip back and forth between angels and devils, depending on the scene.
The audience is literally a part of the story.
We do a lot of things with controlling their camera positions, more like a live presentation of a movie, compelling the audience to the point of view that the director wants them to see.
And when audience members use virtual reality goggles like the Oculus Rift, they have an even greater sense of being there.
It's a playground to experiment with, a canvas where all the elements are programmable. And as you can imagine, something complex like this had to be rehearsed quite a bit, which we did on a hidden platform in the sky.
Similar to real life, we can actually block out a scene. We literally lay down blocks as to where the character is going to be, what time they're going to be in that place, and how they're going to be in relationship to each other.
There's definitely more than a few hundred hours of scripting involved in this production.
Harvey and I have a fantastic working relationship. We get a ton done because we can meet up anytime we want in world, and we don't have to fight our way through the craziness of driving through a city or anything like that.
To see it progress from the raw idea to completion is just a fantastic experience. I don't think that magic ever disappears.
In my day-to-day life, I work in marketing. I live, I'd say, a 20-minute bus ride from the West End. What I find is that when I go to a theater production, I have such a richer appreciation of what they're doing because I've been doing that in Second Life and thinking about it and crafting things.
Having spent time building our sim in Second Life, I find that now that I go outside and walk through the city, I have a much greater awareness of detail about buildings, about nature, textures, the colors of things. I really notice the little things more.
One of the gifts of Second Life is the ability to single task and to really focus on the thing that you are most interested in. We have the ability to communicate in a way that is very liberating.
In Second Life, yes, we have these masks, but it's a mask we choose. It's the way we want to be perceived.
The class issues that may divide us, the cultural issues that might divide us, gender issues that might divide us, really all of that is left at the door and people just say, who are you, really? Who are you? And I'd like to get to know you, the real you.
When we walk around, we're not judging people on appearance. Instead, what we're doing is judging them on what they say and what they do.
We as a society, we no longer know how to play. It's leisure time. It's enjoying your life. For me, having fun means creative expression.
When I do get involved in discussions about Second Life and people ask, what's the point? I turn around and ask, what's the point of real life? What is it that you're doing every day? Why are you doing it?
Almost 10 years ago this was made. 10 years ago. Can you believe it? Again, the ingenuity of Second Life residents, absolutely extraordinary. You give people a blank piece of paper, you give them unlimited colors, and they will come up with cool stuff. You give them gamification crap, they will be addicted and play Candy Crush all day. Okay, so that's the difference. I'm really in awe what these guys did with this thing. Also, I don't know if people saw Marianne McCann had a little cameo there. She was running through the scene there. I don't know if you spotted her, but you can see this is Drax Files World Makers, my series before I started working as a contractor for Linden Lab and started doing the Made in SL series. This stuff is labor intensive. This is not just like, slapping together a bunch of scenes. This starts with a thorough investigation about the story, interviewing people, putting a story together, then thinking of the visuals, then directing them in real life. 99% of the time, I'm obviously not in real life on location, but I direct them what they film and what they send to me, and so I can put it together in a cohesive manner. So all these logistics is just a lot of work, and I would like to continue, and I need your help. Please go to ko-fi.com/Draxter right now, or people have been asking about this donation device, which we call the trophy. It actually has it's inscribed by me by hand, right? Is this my handwriting, Arduin? What does it say?
Put a pretty plaque on it, yes, with your handwriting and a pretty picture of you.
From the bottom of my prim heart. Now, people who hate prims and who are mesh people, they will not donate. Damn, another loophole. I'm creating really havoc here. That's why nobody's subscribing. But if you want to support the making of these types of stories, you can message me directly right now and I will give you this trophy, and at the end of the stream we'll put it in front of the main building here on the Second Life Book Club Island number 1. Right here, I'm just camming over here. Here's the entrance here. Actually, I'm camming over there. There already is one. Wow, Arden, how did it get there? Damn. Oh. So, Arden, does this take money without my consent?
No. So you click this is a giver. If you click it, you'll get a copy of this trophy and you can put it on a shelf. Oh, there you go. There's another one near the entrance. That's another giver. You get a copy of it. You can put it on your shelf near the window or something, where other people see it. And but it will ask you permission to transfer money once per month, once per calendar month, and only the amount that you want to. So, and if you can change your mind, change the amount, you can just take it back in your inventory, then it won't pay anymore. So you have a lot of control over it. But the main purpose is that you put one out on the shelf, you select a monthly amount, and then you don't look at it anymore, or well, at least you don't interact with it anymore, because then very conveniently, once per month, that same amount will then also be donated again to Drax to make all the Drax Files.
The Drax Files Made in SL is now the official rebranding name. And Arden made this, and thank you, Arden. This is really, 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 really wonderful. Arden was profiled in the Drax Files 46. Catalina Gearbox here on YouTube says, it would be cool if you could make more place profiles. I think I said this in the last stream. I made about 120 videos while under contract with Linden Lab per year. So there's plenty. And this is what this whole thing is all about. I would love to continue. But I will not continue if we don't get to 100 sustaining supporters by the end of the 4th fundraiser. This is the 3rd fundraiser. It's getting really tight. Again, I don't want to be Draxy Downer because I'm in a pretty good mood. We have a wonderful group of supporters. This is the Ko-fi page. It explains everything. Ko-fi.com/Draxter. Oops, it's a little pixelated. Come on. And you can donate right now, and it will count to the 100 supporters. 56 is not correct. We're at 58 right now. You can tip $3 right now, and this counts up towards the 100 goal. Today, the goal is 70, and we have about 10 minutes left. So maybe 10 more subscribers, and we're good for today. If you want to donate in Linden dollars, the lowest amount is 300 Linden dollars per month. You can direct message me, and I'll give you the donation trophy. This is important. If you care about these place profiles, like Catalina says, profiling places, the people that make these places, the people that engage in community building, game making, whatever it is, the launch date, Arden just fell asleep. His mouth is still not moving. What's going on with this?
I'm here.
Don't worry. But your mouth, you're triggering me.
I'm naturally born ventriculist.
See, you should pledge for $49.99, and then you just start speaking with me on our private meetings with no mouth, and I get so triggered. And again, you can ruin my career. But anyway,
I can't find the controls for my mouth there. Well, you'll have to teach me sometime.
It's all good. So the 3 tiers. Let me put this up again. The 3 basic tiers on Ko-fi is $1 per month, $3 per month, $9 per month. So the first one, $1 is Drax Base, then it's Drax Pal. Wow, this takes forever to rest. Here we go. And the Drax Super Stand is $9 per month. I'm planning on launching the Drax Files Made in SL on August 24, 2024. I have 5 stories left over from the Linden Lab contract that I want to complete. But if the last fundraiser, the 4th one, which is coming in June, if we don't get to 100 subscribers, I will have to, what do they say, Arden? Break up the tents, or break down the tents, or pack up? I think pack up is the thing. We got a stalker. Peter Eaton is standing here. He found us. Peter Eaton found us in World. Oh my God. I was just camming over there, and there's some dude behind the bushes. Hello, Peter. Come on and sit down and watch with us, because we have a few more from the archives. Let me look at the archives. So I have another Drax Files that I would like to watch right now. It's Drax Files 36 about Sominel Edelman, who is the maker of Landscapes Unlimited. Landscapes Unlimited, and I am biased because he's actually also a supporter. Now,
wasn't he also Dutch?
Oh yeah, right. I'm also biased towards Dutch people, Arden.
Dutch.
Right.
I'm biased, I want to say.
SL is run by the Dutch. So Sominel Edelman, I profiled him, and again, this is I want to also make this clear. I'm gonna hand out a submission pipeline next fundraiser where people can nominate themselves, or they can tell me cool stories. They can email me right now. I say this every time, drax@draxter.com, and I put it in a folder. And if I continue doing this, then I have a bunch of stories. There is no payola here. I'm not going to take people who donate more, or if you donate more, then your chance of getting profiled in the series is higher. No, that's not how it works. And when I say Samuel Edelman from Landscapes is a supporter, I came about his work before he was a supporter. After I made his video, there was years ago, I asked people for their support and they supported me. This has nothing to do with I just want to make this very clear, because some people think like, oh, if I pay Draxter, I don't know, 20,000 lindens, then he's going to make a video about me. No, that's not how it works at all. This is the editorial control is in my hands, in my dictatorial, authoritarian hands, and my goal is to create a mosaic of that is reflecting the diversity of people's real life backgrounds, but it also is supposed to reflect the diversity of their activities, right? So that doesn't mean I checked music off the box, I'm never going to profile a musician. No. But I do want to find a slightly different angle for each one of those. That doesn't mean, now we're going to watch this Landscape Unlimited Sim Surround business that Somnal has. If you have a Sim Surround business, you go like, oh, Draxter already profiled a Sim Surround guy, he's not going to profile me. No, that's also not how it works. Every story is unique. Also, what I hear very often when I'm on the ground, people say, I don't have a story, I'm boring. And my answer is, no, you're not boring to me, because if you find, if Second Life inspires you to explore, to go outside of your comfort zone, to be creative, to create community or whatever it is, then you are interesting to me. You're interesting for me as a storyteller. So let's watch Samuel Edelman, which also will have an Oculus actually in there. You've seen it in the Paradise Lost one, but this one also. This was when SL was compatible with the first VR headsets from Oculus. Here we go. Drax Files, episode 36 from 2017, I want to say.
Most of my landscapes are representations of landscapes that I like very much.
But in regards to Yosemite, you have never been to Yosemite National Park in the physical world.
I have never been there, but I've learned in my studies how it was formed by glaciers flowing through these valleys. I'm a geographer, I'm a physical geographer, but it's also my own need to make things that correspond to the beautiful landscapes that are all around the world.
When you put Yosemite up for sale, what was the response from residents?
There was this woman actually telling me that she had to cry when she was sitting there. Our mind kind of gets transported to the eyes of the avatar. This is the perspective, that's how we see the houses and the other people and the landscapes.
And it seems like this sense of being there happens with or without a head-mounted display.
Well, it's all about people coming together, and you don't need a fancy gadget to connect to each other. My name in Second Life is Samuel Edelman. I create virtual landscapes. I have all types of mountains, I have islands, I have texture sets for different seasons, so you can switch from spring to summer to autumn to winter. I have a moon landscape. You could go there with your spacecraft. In making these landscapes, I've solved all kinds of technical problems. It's really quite a complicated process, and some things are automated. Then I import an early sketch into Blender. I have a couple of Python programs there to adjust things and to calculate things, and then all the output goes to Photoshop.
And then the composited textures go straight into Second Life.
Well, I'm not going to explain it, obviously, in this video, because all of this workflow, I consider it a trade secret. A big group of my customers is from roleplay communities, so they want an environment that supports their roleplay. A second group is people that have private places where they simply want a nice house and a garden and a forest around. Then there's people who buy regions to rent out, split up a region in 4 parts, for example, and put this landscape around it so that people who rent it are actually living in this landscape. Selling my landscapes is enough to sustain my family, my house, and my living situation. The income I have, it's all based on lots and lots of small user-to-user transactions. You have to keep in mind that the complete economy of Second Life added together amounts to about $50 million each month. But while the financial aspect is certainly not insignificant, it's an amazing thing that logged into Second Life, it gives me a true feeling of being part of this environment. And I think I know why that is. I've played some other computer games, but it was all about consuming the game, consuming the path they had chosen for me. And Second Life made it possible to explore my creativity. It's an amazing thing to discover that.
Yeah, there we go. Another video that I'm quite proud of, and the story is just amazing. And what I really like about this video, now that I've watched it after so many years, 8 years, is that it also features a lot of different residents that are using Seminal stuff. And again, I said earlier, the complexity of putting all this together in a very short amount of time, getting people to send video that then, works coherently in the story. I have to interview Seminal first, then I have to come up with a storyline based on very long interviews, kind of compressed into these 3.5 or 5 minutes, but also then get other people, if it's in my head, like, oh, it would be cool to actually see people who use his sim surrounds and in the context they use it in. I gotta get these people to submit their real life video if they consent to it, and then kind of incorporate that into the story. And so it's really kind of complex. It's not just pressing the record button and or the stream button on OBS and then just talking incoherently like we're doing right now. Am I right, Arden? Arden is falling asleep. But so this is very different from like a live stream. And I don't want to get off a tangent, but it bugs me when people throw all this together under the moniker of content. There is a lot of variation in so-called content. Some stuff takes a long time to make and is maybe only 5 minutes long. And some stuff is super easy. Brain fart, and you fill 3 hours. The Ben Shapiro's and stuff like that, they make millions of dollars with their garbage, and they put poison into your brain. We, Arduin, and I, and the book club manager, we don't put poison into people's brains. We give them something for their hard-earned Linden dollars. I want to say thank you to Brandov Bisnovat, because he has become a member, Brandon Bisnovat, and also Peter Eaton. Peter Eaton, who is here lounging. He's lounging over here. He found us in Second Life. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Brandov. Awesome. So now we're at 62 supporters. Let's watch 2 more videos and get 7 more supporters. I'm very ambitious today. Let's do it. I'm gonna play my favorite video, one of my favorites. This is a Flickr getter, a project. What is the university? God damn it! He'll say it in the video. I don't have it in front of me. Now this is from 2011. This was an amazing project. I still look very old in this video. But this is the Flickr getter. It's a short video, but it's an amazing project. It's self-explanatory. Here we go.
We put Flickr getter under the water, and it is in the middle of the ocean, to get a reaction to the atmosphere that is unique to the water.
Pacific.
Glow. I'm John Philwalk. I head up the IDIA lab, which is the Institute for Digital Intermediate Arts at Ball State University.
Nebula.
Religion.
Historic. Agnostic.
Creativity. Flicker Getter is a immersive mashup installation connecting Web 2.0 to virtual worlds. Avatars can come in, search a term, that's what gets populated in this three-dimensional cloud.
Art, beauty.
I'm going to go ahead and type something topical here like
Wisconsin.
And that term goes out, hits Flickr, goes through the public folders, and returns any images that are tagged that way.
Union.
We could type in something like revolution. Let's see what else is going to return here.
Virtual. Historic. Lincoln. Libya. Egypt.
Some of it is completely logical and other things are much more abstract. You never know really what you're going to get.
Pencil.
Each image gets its own kind of bell-like tone. You're surrounded also with this moving cloud of chimes.
Avatar. Physics. Flickr.
The text-to-speech comes out of the computer itself, reading the tags.
Word. War. One.
Idea Lab is the Institute for Digital Intermedia Arts at Ball State University. We're very keen on this notion of how can physical reality inform virtual, how can virtual reality inform physical. This piece is also kind of a hybrid piece in the sense that it's between an artwork and almost an interface, but it's a very aesthetic interface.
Happiness.
This work we have created as a physical installation. Indian Institute of Technology invited us in Mumbai. We created sort of a mini cave where you had 3 projectors and 3 screens surrounding you. It was pretty close. It wasn't, quite the same thing. We can't float images in space quite like this, which would be nice, but...
Space. Floating.
We haven't really caught up quite with where technology is. There's lots of hurdles and steps that still most of the population haven't even begun to think about and trying to transition into.
Human.
We live in a 3-dimensional environment. We relate to space and objects. The avatar represents us and repositions our sense of scale within that 3D world.
Future.
The notion of the internet as 2D, even though we're quite used to that, it's even much more an abstraction. That's just not how we interact with anything else.
Human. Face. Human. Human.
Yeah, what can I say? Ahead of its time, just absolutely unbelievable. Idea Lab at Ball State University. John Philwalk was the guy who initiated this project 13 years ago, and you can see that's when I was experimenting, or slightly before the Drax Files World Makers. I called this the Drax Files on Art and Design episode 1. There was always only ever one episode, but this is a great use of course of Second Life as a community building. I hesitate to say platform because it's about space. It's not just a platform. A platform is also, a platform is a flat thing where you can sit on, literally speaking, but the space of community building, the scene that we shot there where 4 people are sitting down there at the Flickr Getter and coming together and enjoying this in the virtual world is just amazing, really collapsing these geographies. By the way, the guy with the suspenders, the old guy, is my dad's avatar, Heinz Ludwig Bernard. Befriend him, he needs some friends. Now, Arden is saying, do I take raw fish as a donation from water? Water is floating in the water here. Water floater. If I take raw fish, I prefer Linden dollars. If you can go to the market and sell those fish, get Linden dollars, put it in the trophy, then you will count as a supporter. Let's do that, Water. And France, Quebec, thank you for becoming a member. We're now at 63. I think we're gonna wrap it because the goal was ambitious. I have 2 more videos, quick ones. We didn't get to 70, which was my goal today, but we had a great time watching archived videos, historical videos. And that's, again, the project here. The project is to build an oral history that we can look back on, that everybody can look back on, and really look at these pioneering things that were done here in Second Life, because Linden Lab won't do it, and I don't blame him. There's Tom Bölsdorf just wrote a book on game consoles. Very seldomly does a game company do that. He's at UC Irvine. This is research that he has done privately or in his role as a professor, not by the company. I'm happy to be independent again. I don't blame Linden Lab to canceling my contract. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually pretty good timing, to be honest. And I'm happy to be completely editorially independent. I was very, very independent while I was a contractor at Linden Lab. This was actually in my contract. I was allowed to pick the stories, to present them the way I wanted to. There were a few coordinations when they had releases, or there were certain stories that they wanted to have me make about with Zenescope, the comic book company, for example, which I probably would not have pursued myself, not because it was a bad story, but because there were so many others, and they wanted me to prioritize it. And I went in there and I did the story, and it was actually quite fascinating. So nothing has changed much. That's the little thing that has changed, that I don't have to answer to anybody and I can do whatever I want. And if you want me to continue building this archive of Second Life stories, message me right now. I'll give you a trophy, or you head over to the main SL Book Club location. You can find that at a destination guide. And you will have the trophy giver right here, and you click on it and you'll get a trophy. Arduin, is history important? I'm asking you the big questions, the last question.
Only if you don't want to repeat it, right?
Right. We don't want to repeat all the mistakes that were made in the 2007s in SL.
Or the other way around.
What is the other way?
If you want to repeat history, you got to learn what they did in the past, right?
Yeah, right. That's why you need to pledge and get the trophy. Right. God, I got it all backwards. For Christ's sakes. I almost said the F word. Sinestra81 is on YouTube. She is already a Drax stan. I know Sinestra. Nice. She's a Drax stan. Yeah, awesome. If you want to convert to Linden dollars, you can do that as well. But she's a Drax stan at the $9 per month subscriber base. I have 2 more quick videos. Let's play them. I have one on California Legacy. It's a minute and a half. This is a project that I started in public radio. This is profiling California writers from way back, from the beginning of California to today. This one is about Mark Twain. It is really, really awesome. This was in collaboration with Santa Clara University. We built some amazing sets with this one. This was from 2010. Here we go. Enjoy.
According to one survey, there are well over 200 languages spoken in California. Unfortunately, those who keep track of such numbers only count the human ones. I'm Terry Beers, and this is your California Legacy. Mark Twain loved to tell stories in the voices of colorful characters, like California miner Jim Baker, who not only claimed to understand the languages of animals, he also offered strong opinions about them.
You never see a blue jay get stuck for a word. No man ever did. They just boil out of him. And another thing, I've noticed a good deal, and there's just no bird or cow or anything that uses as good grammar as a blue jay. You might say a cat uses good grammar. Well, a cat does. But you let a cat get excited once, you let a cat get to pulling fur with another cat on a shed nights, and you'll hear grammar that will give you the lockjaw. Ignorant people think it's the noise which fighting cats make that is so aggravating, but it ain't so. It's the sickening grammar they use. Now, I've never heard a jay use bad grammar, but very seldom. And when they do, they are as ashamed as a human. They shut right down and leave.
No one knew how to poke fun at human self-importance better than Mark Twain. Tall tales like Baker's Blue Jay yarn, included in the 1880 volume A Tramp Abroad, enlivened American literature and set a standard for American humor rarely achieved.
Your California Legacy is a production of the California Legacy Project at Santa Clara University, on the radio at KAZU.org, on the web at californialegacy.org.
Unbelievable. No prim was hurt in making this. All prims, can you believe it? The avatars, how they look. I mean, amazing. Amazing. And this gigantic, actually I have a picture somewhere because we built this out of prims. This page, the diorama page basically. Absolutely what a good time. I want to say big thank you. Mark Twain was censored in the subtitles on YouTube, Christina. Oh my God. They probably, the detection engine probably thought it was a different word. What word would it be? I don't know. I want to thank Arden. A big thank you to Arden, who has done so much. He created this device. He scripted it, the trophy. And he's hanging out with us here today on a Saturday where he probably has a million other more interesting things to do. For example, figuring out how his mouth moves when voice triggers it or other things.
Test 1, 2, 3. Can you see my mouth move when I talk?
No, but your eyes also stare into the nothingness. But that's
why I always have to wear glasses, because my eyes look dead. They don't move or anything.
Your eyes look as dead as your mouth. No, thank you, Arden. And Arden is, of course, the owner and or proprietor. Is that the same thing, actually, of the Black Forest? You find the Black Forest on Marketplace. You find it here in SL. He's the maker of the War Bugs. He's the maker of so many amazing items. Why don't you res a few items, Arden?
It's a stupid store. Don't buy anything there.
Yeah, especially not the Candy Crush. Yeah. It will ruin your life.
Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, because I know Water here, Water is here underneath. He's floating here with his raw fish in his hand. I know that Water is a big reader. He reads high literary novels like Infinite Jest. And if Water finds out that you have a Candy Crush machine, he will stop reading books, Arden. You will corrupt this kid. Oh my God. Christina says, got your backgammon board. Res the, Arden, if you have it, can you res the Berserker game, which I love? And Arden not only creates sort of replica.
Draw it up here.
Yeah. Put it up, and maybe Water wants to play it, but only once, and then you have to go back to reading your books. And we have one last video. We're going to do one last video. And then we have an outro montage that I have. But we'll do one quick one. This is a 2-minute video. Oh my God, Catalina just did a super chat. Catalina, thank you. And I should have said this. I really appreciate it. Catalina, thank you. A big thing of note here. Why are we doing this campaign with Ko-fi and InWorld? Let me just say this real quick because Catalina sent a super chat, which I really appreciate. Please donate on Ko-fi or InWorld. Why? Because YouTube takes 40%. 40%. Think about this. Unbelievable. I know it's cool. Oh, you're into something. You want to give your creator something. But the middleman takes 40%. That's highway robbery, if you ask me. Ko-fi takes 5%, which is completely reasonable because the logistics for a very small company like Ko-fi are huge. the trophy in world takes nothing. The Linden Dollar donations, because I can pay Arduin in. What do I pay Arduin in? In useless like rambling. Yes, yeah, and stupid to commentary on whatever it is. Oh, look, the Berserkers are playing. Who are you playing against?
Myself.
Oh.
At some point I need to read the rules. Maybe.
I know the rules.
More fun.
I could explain them to you. But you can. I didn't know that you can play against yourself. That is so awesome.
Yeah. With all the Black Forest board games, you can play against someone else or against yourself.
That's wonderful for people like me who don't have any friends. Is this
And
like
with the
1,000 Linden dollars? This board game? How
Gee, no, I don't know though. I have to look it up. Probably 100.
Mm-hmm. Very reasonable.
Yeah,
Very
because
reasonable.
I'm stupid about money, really.
Oh, I'm way stupider. I'm way stupider. I give people loopholes. I tell people pledge the $20 thing, and then unsubscribe immediately after you get the thing. What else did I tell people? Let's not tell people again.
Oh, I accidentally won there.
You won against yourself? Oh wow!
Yeah,
You're pretty good.
I'm good.
Yeah. The Berserker game is awesome. Don't buy it. Get the trophy instead. This is the last video. Then we're gonna sign off. This is a video about the Goethe Institute, which is a German cultural institute, an organization that promotes German culture worldwide. Currently, Germany is engaged with America to fund a genocide in the Middle East, but I don't want to be a downer, because let's watch this Goethe piece. This is also from 2007, where I look really, really old, but it's a really awesome story, and it's about these language chats and these things that the Goethe Institute did back then in Second Life. They did really amazing pioneering stuff. And a little bit of context. They had a Second Life presence for a number of years. And as it often goes with big organizations or corporations, you have a manager, and the manager greenlights something. Then the manager or the executive is replaced by someone else. That person looks over the spreadsheet and says, "What? We're spending what on what? A game? A 3D game? What? Return on investment? What?" Boom, it's cut and it's gone. And that's what happened with the Goethe Institute, because the manager who came in did not see the value of bringing people from all over the world together in a virtual space to talk about culture, art, and language. Right? They want them to go to the physical place. There's nothing wrong with the physical place of the Goethe Institute, if it's in Brazil or wherever it is in Poland. There's nothing wrong with a book presentation at the physical place. But what if you're mobility impaired? Hello? What if you don't have the money to go to that place? Maybe you're living somewhere that is too far. And that stuff actually does trigger me and makes me angry when people are so dismissive and frankly ableist when they say, oh, why do I need this virtual world to meet with other people? I just go there. And things like that, cultural offerings, they're relatively cheap actually for a big institution like the Goethe Institute. They make a lot of money with their real-life language courses. They can afford to pay a little tier for a bunch of islands and keep this running, to have like a virtual language chat or a get-together for people who can't go to the places in the physical world. Anyway, get me all riled up now, Arden, by you and the Berserker game. Oh, it's already gone. So let's watch this Goethe Institute story. This is also from 2007, a time when I filed 2 stories per week, 2 reportages. I mean, insane. Here we go.
Der Türmer, der schaut zu mitten der Nacht hinab auf die Gräber in Lage.
Ah, German, my mother tongue. For over 1,000 years, German writers have used their native language to convey deepest emotions, complex inner conflicts, and scrutinizing observations to create a wealth of literature. The Munich-based Goethe Institute, named after the famous writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, promotes all that is German worldwide. The institute provides language studies, exchange programs, and information about art, history, politics, and society. After exploring the digital realm through e-learning classes, the Goethe-Institut now has a presence in Second Life. Klaus Brehm, aka Ernst Schumann in SL, is in charge of internet strategies at the Institute.
Wir gehen davon aus, dass in 3 bis 5 Jahren solche 3D-Communities ihren relevanten Platz im Internet erobert haben werden, und für diese Zeit wollen wir uns vorbereiten und Erfahrungen sammeln, wie man Effekte in solchen Communities erzielen kann.
Ernst says not replicating an existing brick-and-mortar Goethe-Institut in SL was a conscious choice.
Treppenhäuser oder Dächer oder sowas sind für Second Life-Nutzer eher hinderlich. Und dass wir es so klein gemacht haben, liegt daran, dass wir das als ein Labor, ein Versuchsobjekt betrachten, und in Labormaßstab macht man Dinge ja auch erstmal im Kleinen, bevor man sie dann später größer baut.
Despite its size, Munich-based developer Bukowski and Lyman created an impressive array of rotating exhibits on Goethe Island. There are also classrooms and the walkable world map, which shows all institute locations worldwide. The Artist in Residence program will display interactive exhibits inside floating cubes. The current piece by Italian couple Eva and Franco Mattes will be revealed in a grand ceremony this spring. It is based on work by German conceptual artist Josef Beuys. Of course, a presence in virtuality is only as good as the number of avatars who show up there. Goethe gives SL residents a good reason for doing so. A free daily 1-hour chat moderated by Eva Maria Deutsch, a rather appropriate moniker. Eva believes people can improve their conversational language skills significantly in SL.
Es ist auch sehr spannend, wenn verschiedene Kulturen hier aufeinandertreffen, weil man sich ja erstmal durch die Avatare eine eigene Identität machen kann, die dann eventuell auch eine andere Kultur entsprechen kann oder Fantasie, aber man ja trotzdem mit seiner eigenen kulturellen Background da reingeht.
Ah, yes, the culture question. About 10 years ago, the controversial term Leitkultur, or leading culture, was introduced to the debate on national identity in Germany. Unintended by its originator, social scientist Bassam Tibi, it implies superiority of Western culture. The Goethe-Institut tries to stay away from this elitist definition. Most recently, 2 museums in Berlin and Bonn are focusing on the diversity inherent in German culture and language. The Goethe-Institut will hit the road with a touring version of these exhibits later in the year. Back at the Second Life opening celebration of Goethe Island last summer, singer-songwriter Bernd Begemann summarized the Institute's mission in possibly the most integrative way.
Wir empfangen Deutschunkundige, aber Lernwillige mit offenen Armen. Wir versuchen, den Kids Adjektive beizubringen, die mehr als eine Silbe haben. Verzeiht mir meine evangelikalischen Anwandlungen, aber Adjektive sind cool, Kids. Fabelhaft.
Thank you, Bernd. You are the man.
Danke, Drexter. Du bist bewanderter in deutscher Kultur als ich. Offensichtlich.
Am I? Am I really?
Herr, die Not ist groß. Die ich rief, die Geister werd ich nicht mehr los.
Reporting from Second Life to the best of my ability, I'm Draxter Dupre.
Du hättest mich nicht nehmen müssen. Eine Menge Jungs waren damals hinter dir her. Und manchmal fällt mir schwer zu glauben, dass du wirklich mir gehörst. Es können mir die Tränen, als du sagtest, dass alles gut wird. Ich hab nichts erreicht außer dir. Ich hab nichts erreicht außer dir. Ich hab nichts erreicht außer dir. Bitte bleib bei mir, denn das Beste an mir sind wir. Wir werden in den Urlaub fahren in einem halben Jahr, am Wochenende irgendwohin. Bis dahin läuft nicht viel und du fragst mich, ob ich glücklich bin.
Oh my God, I looked so young back then in 2007, 2008. Unbelievable. The Goethe Institute, and also YouTube subtitles. Instead of saying Draxter to pray, they say Dragster to pray. Yeah, those were the Goethe Institute, and it's funny. I think he said in 3 to 5 years this will be everywhere on the internet. Well, Goethe Institute is gone again. These are management decisions. They look at return on investment in a way that I don't, or I can afford not to. So Arduin, Arduin is gone? Who is this guy? Oh my God. He looks just like the guy I interviewed in the Goethe Institute story. Look how handsome. Look at this hair. Oh, the sideburns so clean, perfectly trimmed. The eyes so lively, so alive. The mouth so not moving. The shirt quite fitting. I wear these shirts. These are the Hanes shirts that I buy from Target. 12 pack for $5.99. Cheaper at Costco. The flip flops, unbelievable. I wish I had these types of flip flops. Look at the, oh yeah, the bottom, very nice. Very good grip with these flip flops. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll give you the tally in the newsletter. I think we're at about 65 supporters, which is really good. I'm quite happy. I wish we could get to I wish we would have gotten to 70 today. We need to get to 100 by next time, and I'll announce the next live stream retrospective, which will be on a Saturday in June, maybe the first Saturday. I don't know yet, but it'll come up in the newsletter. So Water, I hope that you also can sell your raw fish on the SL marketplace and then convert this to Linden dollars and get a trophy and res the trophy on your land and pick a tier. And also everybody who is a sustaining supporter will get credited in the videos when I restart the video making. Let me put up this again. This is Ko-fi.com. The videos are coming back. My plan is to have them coming back August 24, 2024. August 24 this year. And I have 5 in the pipeline right now. These are leftovers from the Linden contract. These are wonderful stories about extremely creative people, fascinating lives where we see behind the avatars. Christina, thank you for hanging out. What are you drinking here? What is this? Interesting. Is this Red Bull? Your heart is pumping. I can see it. Christina, thank you. Also, this is a sword of sorts, I guess. Wow. Christina, next time I will also reveal where to submit your stories so that you are maybe profiled in the series. Maybe, Christina, you want to submit a story about your life of a half woman, half machine, katana wielding person, or Peter Eaton here, whose life seems to be a beach, hanging out. Look at Peter has better flip-flops than this guy, or does this guy have better flip-flops? Okay, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta get going here. I'm going to play the outro. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for watching. Again, if you cannot afford it, do not feel bad or guilty or whatever. This is about, for me to find out if there's interest. How big is the interest? Can I cover my expenses? Can I justify this before my hardworking family members that I'm spending so much time on these types of stories? It's important to me. I hope it's important to you as well that we're building an oral history, an archive to look back on this amazing world. Well, looking back on also means like maybe it closes down tomorrow, and it's not closing down tomorrow. So it's an ongoing project. I think it is very important to have stories of people who make the world go around, this particular world. All right, here's the outro, Ko-fi.com/Draxter. Message me directly for the trophy giver. Have a fabulous weekend, and goodbye.
Wie geht's denn weiter?
anyways. Just a little trick to keep our heads above water. But now I'm not afraid anymore. Life